Hey guys, how you doing? Well, this video I'm going to show you how I make these little wall tiles. Just make them out of plaster, and you can just put any design on them. I've just been using like my stencils, and I've got an engraver so you can actually carve into it to get like a relief effect. They're quite thick and heavy, so I made a new version not so long ago. They're a lot thinner, a little bit larger, and now I'm actually going to use an old crayon pastels box and actually make a larger one, but it's about the same thickness, so it shouldn't break too easily. So I'm going to show you how to make it, because I've got this art fair coming up and I need to have lots of little things just besides the paintings, so you know, it's not all just paintings. Now this is the bag, so that's what I'm going to do. Plaster of Paris, alabaster yips it's called, which is just basically alabaster plaster. It's a big bag, but you can get quite a few things out of it. Now, to mix it up, I mean, I don't know exactly what quantity I'm going to need for that, but I'm just going to, it's better to mix too much than not enough. Well, actually it doesn't matter because you can always add more later on, but it's preferable that you try and get the right amount. So I guess for this amount I'm just going to put 1 scoop of, this is just a normal tin of tuna, well was, the can, and I'm just going to use one of those to start with. Now with the quantity of water, you'll just want to add enough water so it makes like a paste. You know, when you were in primary school and you made like glue with flour, well, you basically add enough water to get like a gluey consistency, not too runny and not too thick. So I'll show you what I mean. Now what you need to get ready also is to have like something on the back to hang it. At first I tried these, just putting screws and stuff into it, but I didn't find it worked quite as well as if I just put some sort of more like a wire with plastic coating, you know, the stuff that you use to hang frames. So I just take a piece and just make a little knot in it, or however, and then basically when the plaster's setting, you just insert it into the plaster before it hardens completely, and then you've got a little, basically a little thing to so like I'll set it in there, and then it'll set around it. So yep, so I'm going to mix up the plaster now. Okay, so I'm going to mix up the plaster now. Now you try and get the lumps out if you can. And I just usually put less water in there to let it get thick, and then it's like a paste, and then you mix it around so you can remove all the lumps. Otherwise your plaster isn't going to be that strong. And then once you've done it, then I just add the water to get it to the consistency that I want. Now the more runnier you make it, the longer it's going to take to set, obviously, but it doesn't take long to set, so you sort of have to do this fairly quickly. And then you should rinse everything out really thoroughly. So basically this is the consistency of it. You watch it, it's quite runny. I'll pour it anyway. So take my mould, I'm pouring it in. Now I'm not sure if I've made enough, but We're going to find out soon enough. It's going to be pretty close. And then I'm just going to give this a shake around. Try and get it, fill everything. And then I'll have to sit it down on a flat surface because this isn't too flat, this area. So that's basically that. Now, as it starts to set a little bit, I'll insert the hanger for it. So I'll show you when that happens. So basically I've just taken it like this and set it in the middle somewhere. I mean, it doesn't matter if it sinks completely to the bottom because you're going to be painting over it and covering it. So you sort of try and set it in the middle as much as you can that you can estimate. Unless you want to rule it and put a mark on the side and stuff, but I'm not that particular. Because you can move this around to make sure that it hangs properly. And for this size I'm going to set it down a bit towards more to the middle because it's quite large and it'll be mediumly, should be a little bit heavy. So yep. I just want to show you another plaster thing that I made. Last year I made a face. This face here, I made it. It's just a plaster wall hanging thing you put on the. You can hang on the wall. And that's the mould for it. It's completely a big block of plaster as well. And I set the face into it to get the impression. Use baby powder to separate plaster sticking from each other, which is really good. And you use it on clay as well. When you're making a clay mould. So that was the impression, and that's one of the ones I turned out. The nose actually broke on this one. The actual original mould has a complete nose, but I sort of quite like it. And I had these on the side of the house, and they looked quite good because the wall was white, and then this white face was there as well. So they're fun to do. But that's just something where you can take plaster even further. Okay, so my first attempt it came out alright, but I broke it pulling it out of the mould. So it just goes to show you that it doesn't work perfectly every time, and you just need to play around and experiment with it. I actually think that's a good thickness. It's just getting it out of the mould. Maybe I was a bit impatient like normal. So I'm going to try another one. I'm going to make it slightly a bit thicker because it didn't quite fill up the whole tray. And this time I'm going to be a little bit more gentle to try and ease it out of the mould and see how we go. So let's try take two. Okay, so this is the second one that I did, and it came out pretty good. I'm very happy with it. It's a nice thickness. It's not too thin, not too thick. It's just right. So I'll put the wall hanger on it. So for example like that. So now I'm going to, usually I like to let it dry overnight so it's super hard the next day, and then I'm going to start spray painting on it and rubbing it back with sandpaper because it gives really nice scratches. So that's the next step.